Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
Chiefs win. Cry, Eagles, cry.
Great, excited to be back in the league.
You know, every day I got the Three Stooges in the studio with me is a good fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So let's make sure he gets that bag.
Frauds! Frauds! Woo!
Justin's way ahead in picks. That's all that you need to fucking know.
Show's over.
Show's over. We're going home. I would like to welcome you back to another page of the Playbook Sports Podcast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to 32 NFL off seasons in 32 days. Yesterday, day number 9, we did the Dallas Cowboys. Now we're going to shift over to the AFC West, and we're going to take a look at the Denver Broncos. Also, I want to just take a moment and thank everybody for the support on these videos. These have been a ton of fun to make, and you guys are really hammering the views and the like button. I really appreciate it, so keep it coming. I love doing it, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying the series. So, Denver Broncos, what an absolute failure of a season last season. Coming into the year with the amount of hype surrounding them that comes with the organization's all-in move to get Russell Wilson, just to finish with the 5th worst record in the league, and to not even own their own first-round pick in the draft. So you can't even supplement your roster because you don't have the pick, because you gave it up to get Russell Wilson, who barely outscored the number of bathrooms in his own home. And Nathaniel Hackett brought in to be this offensive guru, fired mid-season. And this offseason, the Broncos were faced pretty much immediately with the question of, okay, who's going to fill that role? Who can get the most out of Russell Wilson? And they really needed a strong head coach that could take the reins of the team and lead them down a winning path, and they got him. This man right here, Sean Payton. Welcome back to the NFL after a season or two off. Love the addition of him, even though they had to trade for him. It's weird when you trade for a head coach, in my opinion, especially when you give up a first-round pick for him. But you have to know if Russell Wilson can be the Russell Wilson of old or not. And if Sean Payton can't get it out of him, then nobody can. So you go all in on this move to bring in the guy that has won a Super Bowl, that led Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints to just be a potent offense year after year. Love the addition there. And then I also like what they did in free agency. The additions of Mike McGlinchey. Love that. Yeah, they paid him a lot of money, and you just can't escape the lowlights of last season for any player really that signs, because everybody just wants to push a narrative. Mike McGlinchey's a very solid right tackle, and there's nothing wrong with paying him what they paid him. Maybe it was a slight overpay. Maybe they could have gotten, Orlando Brown Jr., but he wants to be left tackle, so that wouldn't have made any sense. Maybe Jawan Taylor, but he ended up getting just as much as Mike McGlinchey did. I like the McGlinchey signing, and I really like the Ben Powers signing as well. They struggled to move the ball offensively, and now shoring up the offensive line, I think that should start to pay dividends for them this season. Obviously, they have the weapons. They have Jerry Jeudy. They have Cortland Sutton. They've got Javonte Williams. They've got talent. They just didn't work. So, okay, what do we do next? Well, let's try the offensive line, give Russ a little more time, and see if he can actually cook something that isn't burnt. Let's see. I'm also glad they had additions by not subtracting, if that makes sense. And really what I'm talking about is their wide receivers. A lot of people thought, oh, Judy's gone, Cortland Sutton's gone. And I'm glad they kept them both. That is an addition because they did not subtract, if that makes sense. Maybe I sound crazy. And I also like the low-key addition of Samaje Perine. He played a pretty significant role in that Bengals offense last season. And if Javonte Williams isn't up to the task, they've got a strong second running back in Samaje Perine. Now let's look at losses. This offseason, the Denver Broncos really didn't lose a whole lot outside of Draymond Jones, who isn't exactly a household name. But if you look at the tape from last season, you go through some of their games, outside of Patrick Surtain, he might have been one of their best defensive players last year. So that could hurt a little bit, but Denver's known for strong defense, and they still have talent on that side of the ball. That's not the side that people are worried about. That's not what they're trying to fix. I think Denver's defense will be just fine even without him, but their offense is obviously the issue. So let's talk draft. Broncos obviously gave away their first-round pick to Seattle for Russell Wilson, and then they had another first that they got from Miami, who got it from San Francisco. They traded that for Sean Payton. That poor pick has just been passed around the league. I do like that they traded up in the second round for a wide receiver. I just don't know why it was Marvin Mims Jr. Not a knock on Marvin Mims Jr. at all. He could be a stud. I had Jalen Hyatt above him, and I also had Cedric Tillman above him, and both of them were still on the board. So trading up for him just seems like a bit of a reach. If they traded up and got some like Jalen Hyatt, so Jerry Jeudy is a good route runner. Cortland Sutton's a good go up and get it guy. Where's the speedster? Where's the go up and where's the guy that's just gonna burn you? Jalen Hyatt was right there looking him in the face, man. And I would have loved that pick. That being said, I do love the 3rd round pick of Drew Sanders, linebacker out of Arkansas. I think that was a fantastic value pick. A lot of people had him, These linebackers really fell between Trenton Simpson for Baltimore and Drew Sanders here. All of them, and then obviously Jack Campbell went in the 1st round, but those 3 guys were all considered late day 1, early day 2 picks. And somehow 2 of them fell. Drew Sanders will be very, very productive in that defense, in my opinion. Super productive in college. But outside of those 2 picks, they had a very meh draft. They only had 5 picks, and out of 5 of them, I probably am okay / like 2 of them. So for their draft, I am a little bit harsh, especially because they didn't have a 1st round pick. Times 2, they had if they didn't get Russell Wilson or whatever, in an alternate universe, they could have had 2 1st round picks this season. Instead, they had 0. 5 picks and a 40% hit rate, in my opinion. Obviously, this could look bad in a few years, but 40% hit rate as of right now, as it stands. I'm giving them a C- for their draft. So looking at their overall offseason, right, the addition of Sean Payton alone should excite any and every Denver Bronco fan out there. Last season, I felt first of all, as an NFL fan, I felt annoyance. And for my Broncos friends, I felt pity that their team was on prime time non-stop. It seemed like every single Monday night game, Thursday night game, every other one at least. Oh, Broncos playing who? And their offense and their team just stunk. And they were horrible, horrible to watch. Nobody enjoyed that. Hopefully, with Sean Payton there and some talent around him, they should be able to turn that around. I'm not sure exactly how many primetime games they have. I haven't really looked at their schedule a whole lot. But hopefully it's not as many as they had last year, because now I don't trust them. I would have liked to see them maybe add another corner opposite of Patrick Surtain, but outside of everything that they did, I give them a solid offseason of a C+. I like the offensive line additions. I love bringing in Sean Payton, even though it cost them a late 1st round pick, whatever. Sean Payton, if you hit on the coach, they can make players better. It's just the truth. Yeah, I mean, 10, 15 years ago, you're telling me you wouldn't give up a 1st round pick for Bill Belichick? Unlikely. Sean Payton's been there, done that. He's been a winner. I like it. For the offseason, I give him a C+. I don't foresee them competing for the AFC West suddenly, but I also don't see them finishing with the 5th worst record in the NFL again. Just no way. And obviously, this is a team that has built themselves to try to compete right now. I think they believe that this is their competing window. Russell Wilson's getting older. This is their time. And I think that has them as the 4th best team in their own division. It's a real close race with Las Vegas. Obviously, Kansas City is multiple tiers ahead of them. Chargers are a few tiers ahead of them. Them and the Raiders are bringing up the rear of that division. But they have way too much money wrapped up in their current roster and the way it's constructed to not try to win right now. And I like the Sean Payton signing, and we'll see what he's got, man. It's now or never, Denver. Now or never. You do not have time to wait. That's all I've got for you guys on the Denver Broncos. We will be back at it tomorrow with day number 11.